It's always kind of funny. I'm recording on my iPhone 14 Pro. This thing has 3 cameras, not to flex. But I never know which camera to look at. So I just kind of like look dead in the center of all of them. But this is video number 2. Once again, getting over my fear of being on camera. It's kind of funny. Like, it's different when you're just like, talking to your phone. I'm essentially talking to myself. There's no script, there's no nothing, blah, 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 blah. I guess, I don't know. In the other video I mentioned before, having like a fear of being seen or being on camera, this is different. I'm in my apartment, I'm alone, no one's here. It's just me and my camera. Who really gives a shit, But, if there were to suddenly be like more people or like a production crew, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, that would kind of freak me out. It's one thing to look at your little, fucking 3x3 brick and you're talking to yourself in your apartment. It's another thing to have like a whole, setup where like people have like, there's like 3 cameras and this and that, whatever. I can never be like an actor or something like that. Or like, be like on the news or something like that. So I guess that's what I mean when I say like, I have a fear of being seen or blah, blah, blah. But like I also mentioned in the previous video, that's kind of being, I don't know, mended by doing these videos. I have no intention on what the hell these are even going to be, who they're for, what I intend to keep doing. I'm kind of just making them just because I have nothing else to do, and I just feel like I want to have some kind of creative outlet. I started drawing fairly recently. At the day I'm recording this, it's like, damn fridge. At the day I'm recording this, I'm gonna have to record this shit somewhere else. At the day I'm recording this, it's like April 19th. I started drawing back in, it's April 19th, 2024, for context. I don't know when people will watch this, it could be like, I don't know, 3 years from now. But it's April 19th, 2024. I started drawing back in like February, like around Valentine's Day, like February 14th. Yeah. So it's like I've been doing it a little bit on and off. Very, very recently though, I started being like a lot more consistent. I don't draw every day, but I started trying to like, put more practice into it because it is something I really want to do. And I just started thinking of more outlets of what I could be creative on. Drawing, of course, is number 1 for me. I fucking love drawing. I'm obsessed. I really am. 2 is YouTube. Well, maybe not even just YouTube, but just making videos. I like making videos. It's kind of fun. And then I also have kind of been just looking at other outlets. Like, I haven't gotten any materials or anything, but stuff like painting or like, more in-depth photography or even like a little bit of music. Like I want to learn to play an instrument at some point. I don't know when, but I do want to. I also want to learn how to make beats, like how to make music, be like a DJ or something. There's a lot of creative things I have now that are just kind of like flowing in and throughout me that I never really took seriously until now. But it's like, it's April, May, June, July. I have 3 months. Right now I'm 27 as the date of recording this. I'm gonna be 28 in July. My birthday is July 12th. So I'll be 28 years old. And my biggest fear is not really like, I don't have a career or anything like that. Like, just for context, like I don't really have a career. I went to school for some stuff, but I didn't really take it seriously, and it wasn't really something I wanted to do. Like, I don't have a career. I don't have a career. I have a degree. I don't really do anything with. I kind of just work regular jobs, I work retail or I work 9 to 5s. I just do regular shit just to put bread on the table, And I guess at this age, there are some people who would be like, oh, you need to get your shit together. You need to start thinking long term and blah, 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 and get a real job, a real career, or go, back to school or do whatever. But to be real, none of that shit interests me. My biggest fear is not, I don't have a real career. I don't have a 401k saved, blah, 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 or whatever. My biggest fear is not following my passions. When I'm on my deathbed, I don't think I'm really gonna care about how much money I had in my account, or what career I had, or the people I was trying to impress. My biggest fear is that I didn't really go hard with the drawing as much as I know I could, or that I didn't start making music or upload that video or do whatever. Your bucket list. I don't think I can't speak for everyone, but I don't imagine there are that many people whose bucket list really involves a lot of financial things. When you see most people's bucket list, it's usually like, you know, go to the Eiffel Tower, or go skydiving, or do whatever. It's it's like experience driven. It's event driven. It's not really goal driven. And I think those are the most important things in life. The experiences you have. I don't really think it's about the amount of money that you have, or the amount of clout that you had, or how many people were in your body count or whatever. I don't know. None of that shit really matters to me, and I don't really care. It used to bother me a lot because I was like, I'm damn near 30. I'm broke as shit. I'm still, kind of living more or less paycheck to, well, I am living paycheck to paycheck essentially. And I guess for a while I was like, I'm a bum. I don't have anything to offer. Blah 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 blah. I have a piece of shit car. I don't have any money, etc., etc. Blah 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 blah. And it did bother me for a while. But as time has gone on, because I don't know, as time has gone on, and I've been more or less by myself for 2 years now, ever since I left my family. I don't know. The money is still a priority, obviously, because I needed to live. I needed to buy groceries and to pay my bills and to do this and to do that. But that's kind of really all I see it being, I don't really ever see myself pursuing large lumps of money, or having a career-based life, because that shit doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care. If I'm working at McDonald's and it's making enough money, if it pays the rent, if it pays the bills, if it does whatever, I don't really see why that matters. I don't believe that everyone should have to live their life based off of some high sedity career, or having the most amount of money, or the clout, or this or that or whatever. I just feel like my alignment with what I want to do doesn't mesh with mainline society, and I just kind of had to personally get over it. People can claim whatever they want about me, and they can judge me for whatever, for not, being on top of it at my age, which I guess you could consider old. But I mean, it just doesn't really bother me. I just don't care about those kinds of things. I'm a person of the arts. I'm a person of experience. I'm a person of, I don't know what the fuck. But you know what I'm saying. My whole life, I always felt like if I didn't have a career, and I wasn't making buku amounts of money, and I wasn't doing this and I wasn't doing that, by this age, I was a failure. By all intents and purposes, I am a failure based off of my past analysis, because I sure as hell was supposed to have this shit way before 28. I was supposed to have all this stuff by 25, but life doesn't work that way. And honestly, at 27 going on 28, I'm just now realizing who I even am. So even if I was to stick with a career back then, it would have never worked, because it wasn't meshing with who I have become now. Let's say I stuck with the stuff I went to school for, and I, taking it all the way, and at 28 now, because I left college, 21, 22, whatever. Let's say I'd stuck with it. I dived in, and a couple of years later, now at this age, I'm realizing, oh, I don't want to do this, blah, 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 or whatever. I would have been wasting my time. Sure, I would have had more money, but the time that I spent not doing that career that I technically should have been doing, I spent exploring who I was. And I had jobs, obviously. I had money to put on the table. I wasn't making 6 figures or anything like that, nowhere close. But I had enough money to survive. And without me being so focused on that career, it just allowed me to realize who I actually am. So I used to think it was a bad thing, but I'm actually kind of turning out to be really grateful. I've had some shit happen, who hasn't? But I'm starting to realize that I used to always think it was bullshit. People are like, oh, boo, 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 this is a blessing in disguise. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you're just coping. But the more I don't know, the more I do stuff on my own, the more I really kind of go inside and kind of, mend these demons, the more I'm realizing it's not bullshit. It was a blessing in disguise. The stuff that happened to me and the direction that my life went into, even though I didn't want it to go that way, was at the end of the day a benefit. I didn't see it that way for a very long time, not until very recently. But I think things happened the way they were supposed to happen. And I think they were going to happen that way regardless of what I did, just because of who I am. And even, getting back to the career thing, there isn't really even any set career I can imagine myself to have. I would have had to have made one up. And I think that is what I'm supposed to do. It's like there was a library book I had because I went and I just was trying to figure out what to do. It was a book, it was like, a bunch of careers. The book was like 1,000 freaking pages long. I went through like every freaking career and just none of them really clicked to me. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a financer. I don't want to be an IT person. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. There's nothing traditional that really calls to me. And it's like, I want to be an artist, but I mean, what does being an artist really mean? You can do anything with that, but that's still not traditional. That can mean whatever you want it to be. Being a YouTuber isn't traditional. Content creation didn't even exist like 15 years ago. So I think maybe this is the time for me to really get into it and, try to do something better. I'm grateful that I live in a time where you more or less can make up your own job. And I think me trying to fit into that preconceived mold that I just felt like had to be stuck to no matter what was really, it was a detriment in the long run. I am a creative person. That's what I do. That's who I am. And I think trying to fit myself into these non-creative roles just to make money was never going to work. It was never going to work. I think I need to make up my own thing, whether it's art or content creation or being a fucking, life coach or something. But I'm grateful that I live in a period of time where you can make up your own thing. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to happen. But I think I'll never be satisfied until I have creative freedom in what I do. And a regular career just will never really provide that for me. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I do like this. I've been rambling for I don't know how long this camera has been running for, but this is number 2. You'll have to excuse my editing. These aren't edited. I'm just recording off my phone, rambling, just talking about life. I don't even know what the title of this video is going to be. Maybe something. I'll think of it later. But I just want to be consistent with recording these videos. I don't even know if these are going to get uploaded. I don't know. But, maybe by me telling the story, someone else will also be like, hey, I'm lost at damn near 30 and I'm glad I'm not alone, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But, we'll keep doing these. I like it so far. And we'll just kind of see where it goes with no expectations, because that's the best part of life. All right, bye.